question 1.
Oh, what is the question?
9 to the x minus 1 equals 1/3 to the 2x.
Interesting. So I can see that it's a logarithmic question. What's a common factor between 9 and 1/3?
3.
You're right. And how can you get from 3 to 9, and how can you get from 3 to 1/3?
3 squared equals 9, and 3 to the negative 1 equals 1/3.
Good job. So you could substitute out 9 and 1/3 in your equation for 3 squared and 3 to the negative 1 power. Why don't you try and do that? Good. And now that you have that, you could distribute the exponents that you got from simplifying your bases into the actual exponential functions. So now you'll be left with 3 to the 2x minus 2 equals 3 to the negative 2x. Do you know what you should do from here?
Well, now since you have the same bases, you can drop them.
You're right, you can drop the bases. So now what do you have?
An algebraic equation.
Right, and what is that equation?
2x minus 2 equals negative 2x.
And now what would you do to solve it?
You can add 2x to the other side and add 2 to the other side. So it'd be 4x equals 2.
And then the last step is?
Divide by 4.
And what's your final answer?
X equals 1/2.
Good job, you solved it. What's your problem?
I'll get this question.
And what is the question?
Given that log 5x equals y, express the following in terms of y.
Oh, and what's the first thing that you have to solve?
Log 5x squared.
Well, what's one rule of logarithms that could help you solve it?
You can move 2 to the front of the equation, so it would be 2 log 5 of x.
Exactly. We'll have exponents to solve the equation, so it's 2 log 5 of x. And since you already know that log 5 of x equals y...
2y!
Exactly! Good job! What's the next one?
Log 5 1/x.
And to get something to equal 1 over itself, what exponent does it have to be raised to?
A negative.
Exactly. So log 5 of x to the negative 1 would be the same thing as log 5 1 of x. And
Negative y.
Yeah, good job! Because you moved the negative 1 to the beginning of the expression. And what's the last one?
Log 25x.
Well, this is kind of tricky. What rule do you think you could use? You could use change of base.
The change of base formula.
Exactly. So log of x over log of 25. That's the same thing as log 25 of x. And now, since there's no 5 in there, you could add log of 5 into both of them. Since you add something to both sides of the equation, it doesn't change it at all. So log 5 of x over log 5 of 25. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and what does log 5 of x equal according to your problem?
Y.
Exactly, and what is log 5 of 25?
2!
Good job! So what is your answer? Y over?
2!
Yay, we solved it. Another problem?
Yeah!
And what question is it?
Number 9.
Could you read it to me?
Initially, a tank contains 10,000 liters of liquid.
Wow.
At the time t equals 0, a tap is open and liquid then follows out of the tank. The volume of the liquid, V liters, which remains in the tank after t minutes, is given by V equals 10,000 parentheses 0.933 raised to the t. A. Find the value of V after 5 minutes.
Sounds pretty easy so far. So what do you think that you could do for the first problem, since it already gives you the time?
You just have to plug 5 in where
Right.
it says t.
Exactly. So why don't you write that down on your paper, and let's calculate it. What did you get? Rounded to 3 significant figures.
7,070.
Good job! So what's question B?
Find how long to the nearest second it takes for half of the initial amount of liquid to flow out of the tank.
Interesting. Half. So what's half of 10,000?
5,000.
Right. So if 5,000 is the end amount, we should set 5,000 equal to the equation of 10,000 times 0.933 to the t. Since we're trying to find how long it is, we leave t as our variable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can solve algebraically by dividing by 10,000 on both sides. Then we can use logarithm on both sides since we're trying to solve for an exponent. So we have log of 1/2 is equal to log of 0.933t. So what rule of logarithms do you think we can get to isolate t in the equation?
Well, you can bring t to the front of the equation. So
Exactly.
it would be t log 0.933 and equals 1/2.
Right, and then we can divide by log 0.933 on both sides, and we get our answer to be log of 1/2 divided by log of 0.933, which is approximately 10. And since it asks for in seconds and not in minutes,